Hey, this is Brian and thanks for watching Kies Motorsports. Today, we are going to show you how to install the 6WA, not the 6WB, this is the 6WA. It's a little bit different. It's not a fully digital cluster, but we're going to show you what it looks like on a beautiful F15. Okay, so here you can see the standard cluster that came with the vehicle. It looks very elegant, very plain. No real frills, so what we're going to do is we're going to be upgrading it again to that 6WA that just looks absolutely amazing. All right, so here's everything that's included in the kit. So you get your 6WA cluster, you get a coating cable, and then there's this pin adapter, which is going to make the pins that fit in this cluster work in this. We just have to use this little adapter and it'll come with your kit. As a first step, what you want to do is make this wheel out as far as it can go and then down as far as it can go. That's going to make sure that you have adequate room to maneuver this cluster around. Now when we get to the point when we're actually going to be pulling the cluster out, it's always a good idea to drape a microfiber towel over the steering wheel just to protect it. Once you've set your wheel, go ahead and disconnect your battery. All right, so right now the battery is disconnected. What we're going to do is we need to remove this trim right here. You don't need any special tools. Now what you want to do for this is grab underneath here. There's two pins. There's a pin here and roughly over here, and then over here, and then over here. What I like to do, there's a big gap underneath where you can kind of feel a lip. Just very carefully start to pull that out on the one side. On the other side, we'll do the same thing. All right, and then gently remove this. So here you can see there's just two fasteners on each side. Now, as you may remember, on the 6WB cluster, there were two screws at the top that secured it in place. What BMW did with the 6WA and the F15 is they made it a little bit more seamless so you can't see those screws, and there's this latching system. So what you're going to need to do, now I like to use pick tools that are covered in tape. It's just going to make sure that nothing is going to get scratched. You're going to look for the second groove right here. You stick your pick tool in, and then you're going to push it down. And what that's going to do is it's going to press in this tab right here, and you're going to rock it out just like we did before. All right, so grab your trim tools or pick tools, just slide them up and in. Remember, it's at a little bit of an angle, but nothing too crazy. All right, so I have both of these in here now. And again, try to pull down rather than pressing on the actual cluster itself. And then it will rock out, just like so. Now what I like to do is I like to wrap a pick tool in electrical tape. And here's why. So what happens is you stick this in here, and the electrical tape, it actually gives it a little bite. If you used it just with the plain metal, it would slip off, but the electrical tape is very soft and it acts as a groove. So it makes it a lot easier to work with. All right, now what we need to do is we need to release that bottom hook. So if you look on the new one, there's this little hook right there. So to get it out, we're going to rock it down and just try to push this up. And then you just kind of feel for which way it wants to come out. Make sure that those hooks are out of the way. And just very carefully maneuver it the rest of the way out. Now all we need to do is remove the two connections. So I'm going to push in the tab and remove this cable right there. And then there's a tab right down here. You press this in, remove that, and the cluster's out. So here's a look at the difference. You can see the 6WA and also the standard cluster. And this one just looks so good. All right, now we're going to show you what to do with this adapter. So you have your two connections here. On this one right here, the optic cable, you're going to push on this little pin outwards. You might need to use a pick tool if you can't get it with your nail. Just pull it out just like that. And it's going to clip in, and there's only one way it clips in. Now with the other connection, there's a little tab down here. You press that down, slide this out, put that aside, Then when you're looking at this, you're going to see that there's an arrow and a clip. You take it to the side and you slide it right down just like that. And everything is nice and neat in here. So on the back of the cluster, you're going to notice the connection where we're going to plug that in. You're also going to notice this. So what this is for is heads-up display. Now this car doesn't have it, so we're not going to need to plug it in. All right, at this point, you can very carefully plug your connection in. Put it right down there. Just carefully navigate this in here. Put those bottom clips in first. Once you have the bottom clips, you can just try to pull it forward a little bit. And you just keep pressing. It's going to snap into place. And there's a protective film. You remove that. That's a good time to get any of that dust off. Then the last step of this is to take your trim, carefully line it up. All right, a little wipe down. And right now it is fully installed. Now when you reconnect your battery and start it up, it's going to say, mine says instrument cluster, it says acoustic. There's all kind of failures and warnings. And that's because we haven't had it coded yet. So what we're going to do now is set up our computer, we'll finish coding, and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, so the coding process on all of these clusters is extremely simple, and that's because we handle it remotely. So what you're going to do is hook up that OBD2 connection that we provide with the kit, hook it up to your laptop, and then from there we're going to use Skype and some different software solutions, and our tech will remotely code the vehicle. So for this car, it'll probably take about 15-20 minutes or so tops, so it's a very quick coding session, which is very nice. So as he's coding, we're just gonna go clean up. So be sure to save those 2 clips that we removed from those harnesses. And also, it's a really good idea to save your stock cluster. All right, so right now we're just finishing up the coding, but I want to show you how amazing this looks. Check out how amazing this looks. Now, one of the benefits of having the 6WA over the stock cluster that comes in the car is nighttime visibility. Now, it's daytime here, so I can't demonstrate it, but because it's illuminated, it's a lot easier to see at night. Again, this is Brian, and thanks so much for watching Kies Motorsports. If you are interested in a 6WA or a 6WB, like you've seen in my car, be sure to visit us at kiesmotorsports.com, and we'd be happy to help you out. As always, thanks so much for watching Kies Motorsports. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Thanks so much. Have a great day.